Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, and I get to post a video. It's amazing. It's a small miracle, but it is a miracle nonetheless. So, we talked about the book of Malachi, and we talked about Psalms 5, 1, and 2. I'm not going to recap those necessarily. And we also talked about self-love because Monday was Valentine's Day, right? So I recommend, again, going and reading Psalms 5, 1, and 2 and the book of Malachi. The book of Malachi is very short. Let's talk a minute about self-love. And being a Christian. So, being a Christian does not mean that I have a perfect life. It does not mean I have all the answers. It does not mean that all my things are together. What it means is that I recognize that I am in need of someone to rescue me daily, sometimes from myself, and sometimes from how I think and feel about other people. I am not all peaches and cream. I am not all roses. Because of several things, I can be pretty fiery sometimes. Now, does that excuse my behavior and my reactions? No. And being a Christian, I am still a breathing human being. I am going to make mistakes. The difference is that I am old enough and have learned enough and have given myself over to God enough. That's the most important one. That I can first ask God to forgive me for behaving or acting or speaking wrongly. Then I can go to that person and ask them to forgive me for acting, behaving, and speaking wrongly to them. Now, if they choose not to forgive me, that's on them. But I have made myself right with the Lord, and I have attempted to make myself right with them. And so with that also, self-love is acknowledging that you are going to make mistakes and it's okay. Self-love is not abusing yourself for making those mistakes, right? Self-love is not wallowing in your emotions and saying, oh, poor me. You know what? We all do that every once in a while. We all have our moments, right? But we don't stay there. That's the goal, is to not stay there and to not live there for days or weeks or months or years. And the last few days, unfortunately, have been a little bit of a struggle for me, and it makes me a little sad. But instead of what I used to do, even just a few years ago, sit in it and wallow in it and be annoyed by it and be annoying to other people consistently, I can now sit with it for a day or two and process it, because I'm a little bit of a slow processor. I can process it and then, take that to God, do my best to let it go. I'm not always great at it. In the last few days, I have not been good at it. But I can say to myself, it's okay. What I did wasn't okay. What I said wasn't okay. But it is okay, because I serve a God who knew what yesterday and the day before were going to bring. He knows what today is going to bring. I don't. I can go to him and say, I really messed this up. And I need your forgiveness, God, and I need your grace to make it right with this other person. So, to recap all that, I am not perfect. I am not going to ever tell you that I am, and I am not ever going to tell you I have all this figured out. But what I am going to say is that there is a better way to help get all this stuff figured out that goes on in here and in here. To help with all the things out here. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So, I'm Shona, this is my YouTube channel, and this is Jesus and Yoga. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope you've had a wonderful week. And if you haven't, I'm even more glad that you're here. So, I'm going to take a drink of this coffee, and then we're going to go ahead and get started on our quick little yoga session. Okay. Move all this stuff out of the way so you can see me better here. Okay. You can't see my head. Okay. So, you're just going to roll right on down to your back. With your knees up, feet planted on the ground, you're just going to breathe here for a minute. Notice your breath. Let yourself breathe naturally. Open your jaw and make a nice, good, really audible exhale. That's Ujjayi breath. It's very calming and very relaxing. It's one of my favorite breaths. So I struggled for many, many years with anxiety and depression. And while I still have some issues with those things, I am, thank God, so grateful that I have many more good days than bad days. So keep breathing. And when you're feeling nice and kind of relaxed, place your feet together. And you're going to just open your knees. So your feet are going to be together. Your knees are going to be pointing to the sides of the room. Now feel free to put blocks or pillows right here if you need to. That will make you more comfortable. And we're just going to start this way. You can have your hands above your head. You can make yourself a little pillow. This is about you being comfortable, okay? That's what our goal is here. You can even put a little pillow underneath your head right here if you want, and bring your hands back down to the side. However you need to be relaxed, and start taking really deep, deep breaths. So, when I say deep breath, what I'm trying to get you to visualize is that you are really breathing from your lower belly. So you are really opening yourself up from your lower belly and breathing in all the way up to your collarbones. Inhale nice and deep. And then exhale from your collarbones, middle chest, middle belly, lower belly. Inhale from your lower belly, middle belly, lower ribs, upper ribs, chest, collarbones, nice and open. Exhale and reverse that. So just try and visualize that as we take a couple more minutes here. So you're just going to breathe. And at this point, take a nice scan of your body. And if you have any areas that feel tight, what you're going to do is really just focus on sending your breath to that area. So you're going to focus on really trying to bring in some good, clean air, circulation, if you will. So inhale into that point. For me, mine is kind of my lower back, so I'm going to really try to visualize opening up. ahead and bring my knees back up. And if you need to do so, that's fine as well, or you can leave your knees down. Alright, when you're ready, you're going to take one arm up, roll over to your side, bring your knees closer to your chest, so you're kind of in like a half a fetal position here. Try to keep your eyes closed if you can. Breathe here, just kind of give your body time to acclimate. And when you're ready, take the hand that's not your pillow, and you're going to kind of just gently push yourself up, and you're going to come up to a comfortable seated position. You can do comfortable seated position, you can do lotus, you can do half lotus, whatever is comfortable for you today. Okay, I am going to go ahead and come on into this because it's easier for me to remember to sit up straight and nice and tall. So, you never have to look like what I'm doing, ever, just so you know. Your body is your body, you know what's comfortable, and you know what works. And as you continue to do this, things will open up, things will release, and you might be able to move further into your pose. I stress the might there because all of our bodies are made differently, and there are some people that are just really tight, and they may not ever be able to do a downward dog where their heels touch the floor. But let's go ahead and move on here. So one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower belly. So roll your shoulders back and down, lift your chest. So you're going to see the difference. There you go. So you're sitting up nice and tall. And you're going to continue to feel your breath. Now, you can do alternate nostril breathing here to kind of balance yourself, or you can do the Ujjayi breath. We'll cover some more breaths at a later time. Keep breathing. Or if you just want to do your natural breath, that is okay too. Alright, on your next inhale, you're going to put your palms up and you're going to breathe like that for 2 breaths. And you can also put a pillow under you at this point too, if that's like so your hips are lifted, if that's something you need. On your next exhale, turn your hands, so you're going to grab your knees and you're going to inhale. We're going to do a seated cat-cow. So inhale and then exhale, really round that back, move your entire spine. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. A few more times. And this is 2. And 3. So now we're gonna come up to the top of your mat. Alright, you cannot see my head, but it is okay. I'm not doing anything special with my face. So you want your feet about hip width apart, or you want your feet touching, whatever is comfortable for you. It's more comfortable for me to have my feet about hip distance apart, and that's just about your fists, right? That's about hip distance apart. Alright, so on your next inhale, you're going to sweep your arms up, and you're going to do a slight back bend if it's available to you, and you're going to exhale, fold forward. Now with your forward fold, again, you want your hips right over your ankles. And you're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Take your left foot back and look up, so you're in a high lunge. Exhale your other foot back. And go ahead, since we're being more gentle today, come down to your knees. And then go down to your belly. Inhale, I'm going to go ahead and go into upward dog, but feel free to do baby cobra. You're going to exhale into downward dog. Keep your heels lifted, walk your dog. Really reach that tailbone up to the ceiling. And then if you can, start to lower your heels. Stay here and breathe. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your left foot and bring it in between your hands. Now, this is a great place for blocks if you need that clearance. And then you're going to bring your other foot forward. Fold forward here. So grab your elbows and really make sure that you can bend your knees a little bit too if you need the support, so your back can release. Let your head hang. Rock from side to side if you need to. And just breathe here. On your next inhale, you are going to halfway lift into a flat back. Exhale, fold forward, and this time you're just going to bend your knees and sweep your hands all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down by your side. Okay, on your next inhale, reach to the stars or the ceiling, however you want to look at it, and do a slight back bend if that's available to you, and you're going to exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time take your right foot back, then your left foot back. You can do full chaturanga or go down to your knees first. Inhale up. Exhale into downward dog. Walk your dog. Really get that tailbone lifted. And then start to lower your heels if that's accessible to you. Now, you don't want to be pushing. You can see my shoulders, the difference, right? Okay, you want your shoulders to be about like that, away from your ears, right? And you're just going to breathe here. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to look forward. And now either grab your blocks or do spider fingers and lift that right leg and bring it between your hands. See, I have a tendency to hunch too, so you don't want to hunch, right? So you're in a high lunge position. You're going to bring the other foot forward, halfway lift, okay? And then you're going to fold forward here. And we're going to do it's called ragdoll. You're just going to hang again, okay? You can bend your knees a little bit to support yourself to really let that back release. Keep breathing. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands down by your side. You are doing great. Okay, now what we're going to do is you're going to face me. And you're going to stand with your feet about 4 feet apart, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your left foot, turn it out to the side, and I'll show you here. You're going to have that knee at 90 degrees, and you don't want your knee like this. You don't want your knee like this. You want it just straight forward, okay? And you want your hips and everything to be facing me, okay? And we're going to do 2 things here. So what I want you to do is inhale up so you're nice and tall, right? Kind of tuck your tailbone in if it's not tucked. And you're going to exhale and come forward. So if you are doing this, right, you want just a little bit of weight on this arm right here. Now if you want or need more, you can reach down and grab your ankle. Okay, we're going to hold this for a couple breaths, or you can have a block right here or a book. You want to make sure you don't want your hip out like this. You want it to be in. Okay, so you have a nice long line. Your arm can be here, here, or behind you, touching your thigh. However you're comfortable today. All right. And then you're going to straighten that front leg, which moves you into triangle pose from extended side angle. Okay. Again, here, here, or behind you. And keep breathing. Okay, and look up towards the sky or the ceiling. On your next inhale, gently bend that front knee, so your left knee. Release your arm. Gently inhale up. And we're going to go to the other side. So you're going to take your left leg, make it parallel to your mat here. Okay. So your right leg is going to be pointed out towards the edge of your mat. 90-degree angles to start out, okay? So again, that is knee right over your ankle, not to the left, not to the right, right in the middle. I'm going to have you inhale up nice and tall so you can kind of tuck your tailbone, and then you're going to exhale over. You want some water, honey? Okay, just a minute. Okay, and you're going to keep breathing. You're going to breathe here. Again, you don't want a lot of weight on this left arm, or excuse me, right arm. But what you do want is to kind of zip your middle together. And then you can come down here just a minute, love. And then from here, you're going to go into triangle. So you need this, that's fine. Okay, you can kind of make sure your shoulder's not out, so you want to roll your shoulder back. Just a minute, love. You're going to inhale and come up. I'm going to get water for my baby. I may not edit that out just because real life happens. Okay, so now you are still in this position, and we're going to stay in that position. And what we're going to do is you're going to inhale up, you're going to exhale and fold forward. Blocks here if you need them, flat back, right? We don't want a rounded back. You're going to come here. Now, stay here, or if you're comfortable, this is what you're going to do. You're going to clasp your hands behind your back and raise your knuckles towards the ceiling. And this is going to open your hips and your shoulders. Keep breathing. And at any point in time you need to come out of this pose, do so by releasing your hands, and you can go into child's pose, or you can just stand and shake your legs and go into a mountain pose. Keep breathing. On your next exhale, go ahead and release. Your hands down to the ground beside your feet. Inhale, look forward, put your hands on your hips, and roll yourself on. There we go. All right. Now we are going to go into child's pose. So you're just going to come back down. Okay. We're going to do a few more cat-cows. So you want to be in tabletop. So shoulders over your wrists, knees over your hips. Really bend up, keeping that core tight. And exhale. Inhale into your cow, look up to the ceiling. Exhale. We're going to try to bring your tailbone forward. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale, look up, tilt that tailbone up, keep your core tight. Exhale, and go back into child's pose. And child's pose can be this. You can even put a blanket underneath your glutes. You can do this too. This is okay for child's pose with your head down. Or if you really are needing some extra just comfort or space, you can make a pillow with your fists. And just stay here for a few good deep breaths. Keep breathing, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, you're going to gently release and you're going to come right on up to your knees. So we're going to have our hips over our knees again. Now we're going to do this in a couple stages. You're going to put your hands on your hips. Your palms are like this on this part of your back. So right above where your glutes start. Right where your lower back is. And then roll your shoulders back and down and gently push your hips forward. Okay? You can stay here if you want or need more. You can have blocks right here on the outsides of your ankles, or you can just come right on back and grab your heels. Now your toes can be untucked like mine are, or they can be tucked, however is comfortable for you today. And you do want your head to be in line with your spine, if not tipping back a little bit more. And we're just going to breathe here for a few breaths. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, you're going to release one hand. Inhale on up. All right. You're going to sit down for a minute, catch your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, so what we're going to do, I'm going to turn this way again. So my head's this way. We're going to do what's called fish pose. It's one of my favorite poses to do after you do a back bend pose. So you're going to lay down. You're going to put your hands right under your glutes, just like that. Okay, so again, just right here. You're going to kind of tuck your elbows in a little bit, so they're right almost underneath you. And you're going to push into your elbows and lift your chest. And the top of your head is going to gently touch your mat. And now this is too much for you. Just, you can get into this position and then put like a pillow or a bolster underneath you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, slowly release. Untuck your hands. Wiggle a little bit from side to side. Okay. One big inhale and exhale. So what we're going to do next is you're going to take your right foot. No, sorry, I did that wrong. This is what we're going to do. So you're going to straighten your right leg. You're going to take your right hand and put it on your left knee. Take your left hand and you're going to put it out to the side so that you're making a half a T, right? Now you can stay here because this is a great twist for the lower back. Make sure that your shoulder stays on the ground. If you want or need more, you can bend your right leg and grab it with your left hand. And that gives you a stretch in your lower back and a stretch on your hip that's touching the ground. Keep breathing. Your next inhale, release that right leg, straighten it out. Come back this way. Bring your knees up so they're pointing to the ceiling. Your feet are on the ground. You're going to windshield wiper. And we're going to do the other side. So straighten that left leg. Right foot on top of your left leg. Gently twist. Take this arm out. Now you can stay here, or you can bend that left leg and grab your foot with your right hand. Then you want to look towards the right side. Keep breathing. And you will notice that one side is tighter than the other. Like I have to come out a little bit so that of the pose so my shoulder stays on the ground. So my right side is definitely tighter than my left. Keep breathing. On your next inhale, slowly release that left leg. Come back to center. You're going to give yourself a squeeze. So bring your knees into your chest. And if it's available to you, inhale your forehead to your knees. Exhale, and you're going to stretch all the way out. So reach both sides of the room. Inhale in to a little tiny bump. Exhale. Now, if this is too much for you, you can alternate sides. You can go like this, and then come in and inhale up, and then do the other side, and then inhale in. Or if this is all that you have today, this is all that you have today, and your feet can be on the ground with your knees up. Alright, so we are going to go into our Savasana. So what we're going to do is just lay down and relax. You want your feet about to the edges of your mat, okay? And you want your palms face up. We're going to take the right leg, lift it up, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale both feet up, exhale down, and take them apart again. You're going to gently, if you can, push your hips up a little bit and lower them down. Lift your chest and lower. You do one more squeeze in, bring your knees up and forehead up. All right. Give yourself a little wiggle. You want to tuck your chin in just a little bit. Palms up. And close your eyes. Inhale and exhale. Now you just get to return to your normal breathing, your normal inhale and exhale, and just relax. And I'll walk you through a nice slow meditation to relax your body. Bring your attention to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Shake your legs. Now focusing again on your feet. Feel everything in your feet start to relax. The tops, the bottoms, the insides, outsides, bones, joints, and ligaments. All release. Relax and melt into the mat. Bring your attention to your ankles, your shins and your calves, and your knees. Breathe in and out. Now imagine the tops and the bottoms, the insides and the outsides, the bones, joints, and ligaments of your ankles, shins, calves, and knees relax and melt away into the ground. Bring your attention to your quads and hamstrings, your inner thigh, your outer thigh, the bones, joints, muscles, and ligaments, tendons. Breathe deeply in. And with your exhale, feel them all relax and melt away into the mat. Bring your attention to your pelvis and your glutes. Breathe in deeply. Imagine all your bones, joints, muscles, and ligaments, tendons, relax and release and melt away into the mat. Imagine your ribs, lower and upper into your chest. Relax and release all the bones, joints, tendons, and ligaments. And melt away into the mat. Bring your attention to your fingers, all the joints of your hands. Relax your bones, joints, muscles, and ligaments, and let them melt away into the mat. Now imagine your forearms, the top and the bottom, and your wrists, your elbow, the inside and the outside, all the bones, joints, muscles, tendons, and ligaments melt away and relax. Now bring your attention to your arms, your biceps, and your triceps, your shoulders, and your collarbones. Breathe in deeply. Let everything melt away and relax the bones, joints, muscles, tendons, and ligaments. imagine. Your neck. I'm going to say my collarbones again, because I need more relaxing. My neck and my collarbones. The bones, joints, muscles, tendons, and ligaments relax and melt away into the mat. Now lower your jaw, wiggle it from side to side. Take your tongue down from the roof of your mouth. Relax your cheeks, your nose, your lips, your eyes, your eyelids, the space between your eyes, your eyebrows, and your forehead. Inhale deeply and let everything in your head just relax and melt away. Try to focus on something positive. Try to focus on your favorite verse of scripture if your mind starts to wander. Think about one thing that you can be grateful for, and focus on just this few minutes that you've taken for yourself to breathe and connect and think on gratitude or your favorite scripture verse. Breathe. Even think of your internal organs relaxing. Soak in all the love that God has for you. Soak in this quiet space. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Breathe a couple times. When you're ready, raise one arm up to the top of your mat. Roll over to one side. Bring your knees a little bit more towards your chest and roll it over to that side. Now just relax here. Try to keep your eyes closed. And when you're ready, straighten that top leg. Gently spider fingers both hands and gently push yourself up, keeping your eyes closed if you can, coming to a comfortable sitting position. Untuck your glutes to get everything nice and square. Inhale up. You're going to exhale to your left side. Okay, so you're going to have one hand on your left knee, one hand behind you, and you're going to look over that left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. Looking over your shoulder. Inhale, hands up to the sun, and exhale. You're going to fold forward, bringing your hands behind your back. Raising your fingers or your wrists up to the sky. Inhale up. Inhale your fingers up to the sky again, hands in prayer position. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. One good deep breath here. Exhale. Thank you for joining me today. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I will answer them to the very best of my ability. Thank you so much for joining me, and may you be blessed. I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend.